Okay. Good morning, all of you. In yesterday's class, I explained about sowing of seeds and irrigation systems. And irrigation, yesterday I explained about the importance of irrigation and sowing of seeds and what type of seeds we should select to grow a crop and when we have to irrigate. And we have in irrigation we have different types of methods. Of course, in our syllabus we don't have. At last we will discuss that. In 8th class you learned about the drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, surface irrigation, furrow irrigation. We have different types, and how we have to give water from which source we will discuss at the far end. Today we will discuss about one more important topic about plant nutrients. Here we know that whether it may be the crop plant or wild plant, whatever it may be the plant, it can carry out photosynthesis by utilizing carbon dioxide, water and sunlight, and it can prepare its own food material. That means to manufacture the food material, here we know that plants require basically carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. But apart from these three constituents, plants also require certain types of elements like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. These also required, and these are required in major quantities. That is why they are called as macronutrients. Macronutrients. And like manganese, molybdenum, iron, sulfur, boron, zinc, these are required in less quantities. These are called as micronutrients or trace elements. You know this, just recall this. That means apart from the water, carbon dioxide and sunlight, plants also need these elements. And from where they are getting these nutrients means plants get these nutrients from the soil. Plants get these nutrients from the soil, and into the soil or in the soil, how these nutrients are present means it is very natural process. In our surroundings, if you see the plants oftenly shed their leaves. The green color leaf will turn into yellow color after some days and it sheds down. And when it falls in the soil, it decomposes and adds this. Usually this process happens through this process only plants get these nutrients. In forest, the same thing. We are not giving any fertilizers, we are not giving any nutrients to the forest plants. We are not giving any nutrients to the wild plants which are growing in our surroundings, but they are able to grow very healthily. How means regular periodical shedding of leaves, yellow decomposition of those leaves, decomposition of leaves add these nutrients, because already plant body is having these nutrients in its constitution. These nutrients are added back to the soil and absorbed by the plant. This is a cyclic process. We will come to know in biogeochemical cycles lesson, the last lesson in our text. But it is a time consuming process. This cyclic process is a time consuming process. This process is not suitable for crop plants, because we are growing the crop plants to get maximum yield. To fulfill the exploiting population need, exploiting, because day by day the population size is increasing like anything. We should meet the demand of that population. That is why crop plants should give more yield. If crop plants wants to get the nutrients in this way, we cannot get the proper yield. And moreover, one important thing you have to identify here is, this is very, very important. In the wild nature or in forest, same type of plants are not there. Different types of plants we can find. Different species of plants we can find. Different varieties of plants we can find. When they are different species, they belong to different species and different varieties, their nutritional requirements are different. Nutritional requirements are different. When nutritional requirements are different, automatically there is a little demand for the nutrients by the plants. But when we come into the crop field, we grow only one type of plant, one type of plants in 1,000 number. That is called monoculture system, single culture, growing single type of plant. We grow single type of crop plants in the crop field. As they are single variety, all of them have the same nutritional requirement. Then there is a great demand for the nutrients. When we grow crop field, because of high density farming, maximum nutrients are absorbed by the crop plants in one season itself. If you want to grow crop plants in the next season, definitely we should add nutrients. Definitely we should add nutrients. Okay, a farmer has to add nutrients to the soil after each crop, because he is growing single variety of plants which absorb same types of nutrients in major amounts. That is why farmer has to add. Now, how a farmer adds, in what form he adds nutrients to the soil? When we go earlier days, not now, earlier days, that means our childhood days, not in before to our childhood days also, whenever there is no chemical fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer, you know, in 8th class, synthetic fertilizers are the first fertilizers which are manufactured in the industries in highly concentrated form. Nowadays those are available, but in earlier days synthetic fertilizers are not available. That is why farmer at that time they depended on natural fertilizers. Natural fertilizers. What are natural fertilizers? From where we are getting? Sorry. Natural fertilizers. A fertilizer is the substance which provide. What is a fertilizer? Fertilizer is a chemical substance which provide required nutrients to the plant. A fertilizer is a chemical substance which provides required nutrients to the crop plant. Natural fertilizer means from the nature we prepare fertilizer. These natural fertilizers are of two types: concentrated fertilizers and macro fertilizers. Concentrated and macro fertilizers. Concentrated in the sense here, like gingerly, nuvul, okay, coconut, groundnut, neem cake, means gingerly, coconut, groundnut. From these seeds, after extracting oil, whatever the remnant is present, that is called as cake. Generally cake, coconut cake, groundnut cake, neem oil. After extracting all those oils, the remaining cake is used as fertilizer. This cake consists of high amounts of nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus and other trace elements. Highly concentrated. Okay, that is why they are called as concentrated fertilizers, and these are used. Gingerly, coconut and groundnut, mustard oil cake are used as fodder for cattle also. At the same time, they use as fertilizer. When they broadcast, okay, when they add these to crop land, they decompose and add valuable nutrients. Okay, next, macro fertilizers like cow and buffalo dung. Okay, litter means waste material, waste straw. Okay, and leaves and twigs of the plants. Compost, which is decomposed. These are called as macro. They have less concentration of nutrients. These materials are having less concentration of required nutrients. That is why we have to add them in larger quantity. In tons we have to add to the larger quantity. This is about the natural fertilizers. And here, when you use natural fertilizers to the soil, it improves the fertility of the soil by forming a specialized, partially decomposed organic matter called humus. The soil rich in humus allows plant to grow very healthily. Humus is helpful in maintaining moisture level of the soil. When soil moisture level is maintained properly, automatically plants grow very healthy. These are the natural. Apart from this, nowadays organic fertilizers came into the picture. Okay, by utilizing like Panchagavya. You know, you have the process of preparing Panchagavya in our textbook. Please go through. Panchagavya is made of cow dung, cow milk, cow ghee, cow urine. Okay, cow dung, cow milk, cow urine, cow ghee, and banana paste, coconut or sugarcane water or toddy, kallu. Okay, first they will collect the cow dung, they will mix it with cow ghee, let it for 3 to 4 days. Later they add cow urine, okay, cow milk to that, and banana paste to that, either coconut water or toddy, and they will keep it in a drum and let it for 10 to 12 days, allow them to ferment. But every day, morning and evening, they will stir that. After that, they can filter that material, and 3% of Panchagavya can be sprayed on plants, crop plants, which enhances the plant growth. Like this, cow dung, cow buffalo by using this. And vermicompost. Already we went once, vermicompost or vermicastings. Vermicompost is nothing but the castings of earthworm. Castings means excretory material of earthworm, which is rich in nitrogen and humic acid. Humic acid is the chemical which promotes the healthy root formation. Okay. Nowadays, vermicompost also produced by the farmers by using vermicompost. What generally the earthworms eat means generally earthworms eat decomposed organic matter, decomposed leaves, decomposed dung. After eating, they defecate the undigested or indigested food material, that is called casting. That is called vermicompost, which is rich in nutrients, even micronutrients also. Okay. You might have gone to the M. vermicompost area. Okay, I think so. We went there. Okay, we have seen how vermicompost is produced. This vermicompost also having good moisture retaining capacity. Apart from this, green manure. Green manure means certain types of leguminous crops. Leguminous means pulse family plants. Red gram, green gram, black gram, lobia, tencha, kulti, sunham. Okay, such type of plants can be grown before growing the crop in the crop field, and after growing to certain height, farmers give water to the crop field and they will flow back the plants in the soil itself. Okay, with water when they flow back and they leave it for 1 week, 10 days, during this 1 week or 10 days, all the plants which are flowed back into the soil decomposed by the action of soil microorganisms and add valuable nutrients to the soil. These are the methods which farmers used in earlier days, growing green manure, adding concentrated organic manures like groundnut cake, mustard cake, coconut cake, like that, or decomposed cow dung manure. Okay, Panchagavya is traditional method, but farmers are not know about, farmers are unaware of that, but nowadays it became very famous in organic farming. Okay, green manure. These are the methods farmer used in earlier days to enrich the soil fertility and to grow the crop plants healthily to yield maximum. But these all processes are lengthy processes. Nowadays, because of shortage of labor, it involves the mankind labor process. Okay, nowadays, due to shortage of mankind, that is labor, farmers, to reduce the cost of production, what they are doing is they are going for chemical or synthetic fertilizers. Chemical or synthetic fertilizers. Because they are highly concentrated, we need not to add them in large quantities. In small quantities we can add, and ready-madely we can buy. Just we will go with money and we will buy and add to the crop field. But in case of all these things, we have a lot of work. That is why farmers are nowadays, they are always preferring chemical fertilizers like urea, DAP, diammonium phosphate, single super phosphate, like this. All of them these are synthetic, chemical fertilizers manufactured in industries, fertilizer industries. These will enhance, these also like these will enhance the, like natural fertilizers, chemical fertilizers also enhances the soil fertility, but because of their high concentration, they are causing pollution to the soil. They are causing pollution to the soil. Some of them are reacting with other materials which are present in the soil and forming unnecessary salts. Because of that, soil is becoming saline day by day. If you use chemical fertilizers, farmers are using chemical fertilizers excessively to get maximum yield. They are in a myth that if we use more chemical fertilizers, we will get more yield. But that is a myth. It is not correct. Because of this type of usage, excessive fertilizer is getting accumulated in soil and soil is becoming saline. That leads to infertility of the soil. Infertility of the soil. Infertility means plants cannot grow healthily. Okay, that is why instead of using these, farmers better to use natural fertilizers, but on different factors, on the basis of different factors, the farmers are preferring this. Though the farmers prefer this, they should know how much quantity they have to give. Okay, this is about chemical and natural fertilizers. First of all, before adding a fertilizer to the land, a farmer has to know what type of nutrients are present in that land, what type of nutrients are not there, which one we have to add. First, farmer has to select crop depending upon the availability of water. What crop he has to select, what crop he has to grow, he has to select. After selecting the crop, what type of nutrients is required, and he has to take a sample. Okay, soil sample from his field, and in each and every mandal level or district headquarters we have soil testing centers or Bhusara Pariksha Kendra. If you give them, they will analyze, and whatever the nutrients are present, what nutrients would need to be given to that soil depending upon the type of crop you are growing. If farmer follow these things, whatever the required nutrient, whatever the nutrient is required, that only farmer can act, and there is no pollution to the soil, there is no salination of the soil. But no farmer is doing this. All of them are using, illiterately by buying bags and bags of these chemical fertilizers. That is causing trouble to the soil. Okay. Now, a farmer should have the knowledge. Buying the fertilizers and giving it to the plant is not complete. Like irrigation, farmer also know about the fertilizing the crop plants. Yet which stage of crop we have to give what type of fertilizer, what type of nutrient. And when he knows that if he gives certain type of nutrient at an appropriate time, he will get the maximum yield. Otherwise, though he utilizes the fertilizers, if it is not an appropriate time, because at a particular point of time the crop plant has maximum capacity to absorb the nutrients and utilize the nutrients, either before flowering or after flowering or fruit forming, depends upon the type of crop. If you add them, plant can absorb very effectively and make use of them. If you add the nutrients at an inappropriate time, plant cannot absorb, that will go waste. Okay, like this, a farmer should have good knowledge about the nutritional requirement of the crop, nutritional status of the soil, and at what time the required nutrients, what is the stage of the crop to which we need to add what type of nutrient. Then only a farmer gets a proper yield. Otherwise, whatever the money he spent, entire will go into dustbin. Okay, this is about the crop production and management in that regarding plant nutrients. Tomorrow we will discuss about pest control mechanism. Please go through this lesson once. Okay, thank you.